now lining up for the Bombers in his second game for his new club at VFL level against the side he was captain of a couple of weeks ago. Ball in the middle and we're away. Pitnet takes it out there cleanly and gets the opening clearance up towards half forward. Aquay camped underneath this and he takes the mark. He's another former Blue, played 51 games for the Carlton VFL side. The ball across wasn't his best. And playing on there was Flynn Young after taking the mark. He's wrapped up and gone. Perhaps not his best involvement. His first as a Carlton VFL player. Played 8 games for Werribee to open this season. Was a Premiership player there, of course, last year. Picked up with pick 4 in the mid-season draft just gone. Kick to the wing and a good take in front from Harry O'Farrell, who was recently up with the AFL side, made his debut against the Giants.
So Jordan Boyd has the footy here. Some late team news as well. Both sides have held over a player for the AFL game tonight, so we'll go through that in a moment. Young's kick toward this wing. It's going to be a very slippery Sharon today. And Harry Charleston had a hard time. So Corey Durden and Dylan Shield were named for this game, but are not out here today when the team sheets did come in. So potentially some holdovers for tonight's game at AFL level. Mark Pitnet, we just discussed off air, Ollie. You might give me the exact number, but he's approaching 100 games here in the Smithies VFL. The kick sent towards half forward. It's Charters that picks up and just kicked it kind of into no man's land, and then Paris tried to advance it further forward. No real room to work with. And another stoppage. Worth mentioning too that Hudson O'Keefe will be in the AFL side tonight. He was also named for this game. So alongside Corey Durden, it means that Phipps Parsons and Will Hayes have come in to this team for the Blues today. All across to Ben Campriali, who farmed it out. They can't clear it away here as it's a quick snap around the body. Jordan Basutel. Carlton have got a goalkeeper back there. It's ball farmed across. Off there was Ethan Phillips as they smuggle it clear out of the back pocket. Kick looking for Ben Campriali. Overcooked for him. And then for the Bombers was Vicentini as get it back inside 50. Boyd with poise as it's chipped across for Jackson Binns. Knock on the 15. Ball towards the top of 50. That's a bit of a task for Francis Evans. He won't get there. And neither will Solly McKay, who slips as he tried to keep it inside the boundary line. So the Bombers have 10 AFL listed players out here today. That's against 15 for Carlton. The Bombers have just been decimated with their injury toll, and 3 of their AFL listed guys out here today did come into the squad via the mid-season draft. A little soccer being played out wide by Ryan Brodie, who will chase down his own ball here. He's already looking for what the next option might be. It was looking at Paris, but he went longer. The ball just popping up in the air here. Ramshaw was at ground level. Good to see Hayes back out there for Carlton. The sidestep move there by Young. Going inboard. The Blues are making a mess of this that will be turned over. Chance here for the Bombers along the ground. Going McMahon. How about that? The former Blue. That will mean so much to him. Bombers on the board first. Could you write it any better than that? Nice dribbling ball from Liam McMahon, who did so much work for the Blues across his stint there. Kicked 88 goals in 40 VFL games for Carlton. And now kicks one against the Blues to propel the Bombers into the early lead. Just a quick one on Liam McMahon. He's kicked multiple goals in his last 24 VFL appearances, which includes a bag of 5 that he kicked against the Bombers in round 11 last year for Carlton. He knows where the sticks are. This is a free kick in the ruck. Was it a free kick that Pitnet accrued? They took the advantage of Carlton. They're inside 50. There's Rob Monaghan, flying shot for goal. It's away to the right-hand side for one behind. That's the Blues' first entry of any meaningful note. Tor with the kicking in duties for Essendon. Ryan Brodie's had a fair bit of it already. Second game of the season at this level. Does stay in play. Harris going over the top. Trying to back and take the mark in the long sleeves was Unwin. trickles along the ground, still in dispute. With a couple of handballs, the Blues are able to get out of danger. Moya taking a nice mark. It was a contested effort up against Blackistone.
Ashton Moya giving up a fair bit of height to Lachlan Blackiston, so good moment for him early. Wants to kick short. Trying to do a couple of kicks from home here for the Blues. Lucas Camporiali trying to set it up for the Flyers. Drifts out the back, Masutul. Caught there by Francis Evans, but got the handball away. Essendon looking to clear toward the top of 50 it went, through the hands of Harry O'Farrell. Carlton tried to lock it in. Harry Charleston involved, got the handball towards the boundary line. Got it back, his ball in board. It's chopped off by Cale Terine, who is back doing the defensive duties. First shot with the kick for Sully McKay, didn't go the 15. A right-footed ball to the wing. A good take from Oscar Smart, who wheels away immediately. A one-on-one forward of the footy. Could eventuate if May got there, he didn't. Might be able to make a play on this though, as he held without the footy. Still going at it, Archie May. Was well played at ground level by Ethan Phillips, who did it well. Got the handball across. There should be a way here. Ben Camporiali takes the mark right on defensive 50.
So Liam McMahon, what a story that is with the first goal of this game. Kicked it from this kind of area where Billy Wilson currently has possession for Carlton. Long driver, not a good ball. Kicked it directly to Will Hall. So a fair bit of winds out here today. That can often favour the left of screen here at Windsor Hill. This is Jack Paris. Disposal number 4 for him. That's going to take him to the top of the leaderboard here on the stat sheet. Solly McKay, 2 kicks from home here to Bombers. Got a fair amount of possession so far. McKay's kick into the pocket, and it's going to be well taken by Ethan Phillips. We've seen him do that so often, intercept marking in the back half.
Just another note on Liam McMahon, by the way. 98th goal he's just kicked in his VFL career, so on 100 watch. There's McKay, who went up early, but he was outpointed in the end by Harry Lemmy. Kicked 7 in a game a few weeks ago against the Swans. He's pressing his case for an AFL look. He'll work it down the line. Moya charging up at it, got hands to it, couldn't hold. Ball then at ground level. And there was Ben Camporiali as it drifts out the side and then eventually out the back. Work something here, the Blues. A Quay back there was good. Got the handball across. Told his teammate down the river. Caught and gone. It's a free kick against Gallagher. Blues will take it quickly. A long ball towards the top of the square. Francis Evans trying to make something at ground level. It's rushed through for one behind. It's well played back there by Ryan Brodie. Just can't get their second minor score of the day.
Ground's held up pretty well here, considering there was some local footy here yesterday in the Essendon District League. Bombers in particular have quite a few players out of the EDFL in their squad, both at AFL and VFL level. Long kick going toward the outer side. Camporiali taken quickly in the tackle by Archer May. Another good story here. Mid-season draftee. His first VFL game for the year today, Archer May. In his new colours. Umpire sees a free kick right in front of the Essendon bench. Little shove there for Elijah Tardis.
Tardis calling players down the line and playing on himself. He went down the line towards Archer May, who gave away the free kick himself. For the Blues. Lewis Young going down the line towards Lemmy. Was he pushed out of it? Not according to the officials. Monaghan there at ground level. Lemmy 2. Got the handball across looking for Hayes. Stay inside the field of play. Smartly done by Taj Logan at the bootlaces. McKay got it across. Trying to move away is Yakovone with his first disposal. Good work from the Blues to affect the turnover. Blackiston off half back. Half smothered there by Lemmy. As Logan again tried to pick it up down low. That's out of play for a boundary throw-in. Good pressure here from Carlton early on. They've had it forward of centre for a fair while, but haven't been able to work through first major of the game for them. Inside the opening 10 minutes. Liam McMahon, the only goal kicker so far. For the Bombers, as Pitnet playing in front. won it down and able to take it with him. Heath Ramshaw bombs up towards half forward. May was there but couldn't take it. Socket off the deck there by Lewis Young towards the middle of the ground. Nice turn by Unwin in the long sleeves. He'll look long to the one-on-one. McMahon's there again! Oh, Carlton fans have seen this story so many times before when he's been wearing their colours. He's not today. And Liam McMahon, against defenders he'd know so well, is ripping this game apart early. So he's shooting to continue a streak that currently stands at 24 games with multiple goals, 2 or more. Was held goalless last in round 22 of 2023 against the Gold Coast Suns. So Liam McMahon, for the opening couple of majors of this game, from directly in front, right-footed, was never going to miss. Liam McMahon doubles down for VFL goal number 99 in his career. And at the moment, Carlton are struggling to find an answer for their former captain. 25 games now with 2 or more goals in the VFL career of Liam McMahon.
Yep. Luke Power, the Carlton coach, so used to having McMahon as a weapon. No real answer right now for how to stop him. 6 inside 50s to 3. Essendon's way here. Carlton actually leading out of clearance. The Bombers, I should say, they're the ones that are making the most of their forward entries. Ball taken out of the middle, forced forward by Young. Another clearance going Carlton's way, and the mark is eventually paid for Francis Evans. I think Ollie, he might be kicking into a little bit of breeze here. This is going to be a difficult kick. We'll see how he goes with the journey. Former Blue Dom McQuay on the mark. He's standing at about 45. He's played 38 games at the top level since 2020. It's a driving ball and it just made it. It went all the way. Blues on the board.
Not a bad way to respond. Conceding one down at the other end. It's about as instant as it gets with a clearance out of the middle. Good play by Lewis Young in the ruck to take it out of there, slam it onto the boot, get it inside 50, and Frankie Evans doing the rest.
Let's see a replay, but surprised there was no one marked on the line there for Essendon. That seemed to go through, by the time it reached the goal line at a height that potentially it could have been stopped. That's what it looked like from here, Ollie.
My first thought.
Ball was able to go through.
Thrown up again. Young with another hit out. And another clearance. Trickles towards the boundary line. Binns should be able to pick this one up before it crosses the boundary line. He does. Gets it on the boot. Towards half forward, Phipps Parsons once, twice couldn't hold. Sartis down low was clean. Got it to O'Neill and Yakovone. Good run this from the Bombers. Handball over the top to Owen David Jr. Inboard for Smart. Good run this by the Red and Black. Given across. Taha just outside 50. Ball inside 50. McMahon was waiting for it. Didn't get through to him as the Blues look to clear. Trying to take it within there, Xavier O'Neill. Out the sides. To the top from Binns. Ben Camporeale off the deck, charging through Blackiston. He went with the pirouette, gave it away. The Blues looking to go back the other way. Nelson involved. Wilson given across. Having to watch the back shoulder was Cooper Vickery. Sent it inside 50. Aquay good from behind on Moya. Again down low is Luke Nelson. He works it across. A good tackle from Jai Menzie. And the ball squirms out the side. Carlton looking to get this long.
Wilson will be the one to go inside 50, but the ball was shallow and easy to pick off for Aquay. And there's some space on this near side. It's going to skid through to Smart. The Bombers seemingly having loose numbers up ahead. McMahon's too far to score from here, but it could go down as a goal assist if Archer May's shot goes through.
A couple of mid-season draftees having an afternoon of it already. And this is a big moment for Archer May. He was a huge Collingwood fan. Would have probably gone to the Pies if the Bombers hadn't swooped in. 12 goals in his 6 waffle appearances for Subiaco before making the move to the Bombers. Big opportunity for him here.
15 games for Richmond at VFL level as well prior to that. Skips in just outside the arc, and that ball was carrying through relatively easily. That there, I think, Ollie, was the effect of the breeze. He covered that distance a lot easier than what we saw from Evans, but it slammed into the post.
Vickery from fullback, the former AFL-listed Swan. Found Ethan Phillips. Flynn Young getting involved here for the Blues. Across the face. Bit of a task set for Harry O'Farrell, who will keep it in. Goes over the top. Here's Jordan Boyd, formerly a Footscray at VFL level. He goes down the line. Getting hands to it, but unable to hold Lewis Young. Goes out of play to be thrown in. It's been a good start to the game, this. Been an exhilarating watch with storylines to be plucked at everywhere you look. Lewis Young in front, won it down, but only as far as Jackson Haitley of the Bombers. Tumbles it up towards Menzies. He had it and lost it. Good tackle there by Charlson. Here's Flynn Young. He'll work up towards half forward. It's a wonderful ball. Stealing a march on his man, Taj Logan, who has options forward of the ball, and will just chip it short. Locates Will Hayes, who will move it on one more, and Jackson Binns finds himself close to the boundary line with a tough angle to face him. Hit 22 back in 2022. Lost out to Liam McMahon in Carlton's VFL Best and Fairest last year. Looks for the right-footed ball towards the line, and it's helped through for one behind. Good work back there by Kieran Gallagher to help it through.
That's what should have happened with the goal that went through off the boot of Evans. 1-3 to 2-1. It's going to go straight to Flynn Young. 8 games for Werribee this year before being picked up by the Blues, taken to ground Lemmy. Got the handball out and then bulldozed, was it Camporelli? And some afters as well from Xavier O'Neill. And that has drawn the ire of a couple of Carlton players. It will be a Carlton free kick out of all of this. And Ben Camporelli will get his chance at goal here. Dad, of course, played for both of these clubs at AFL level. Camporelli gets to get his look out the top level. Only kicked 1 goal in the VFL. Now he's got 2. And Carlton takes a lead here at Windsor Hill.
Really good finish from Ben Camporelli, and as you mentioned, a free kick for going in hard. Certainly not shy to put his head over the footy.
Just unnecessary, I think, from Xavier O'Neill. You probably expect better from the captain. And even afterward as well, really wanted to let Camporelli know about it even after giving away a free kick. Not quite sure what the skipper was thinking there.
Carlton now have a lead, approaching time on end of the first. Pitnet down in the ruck. Ashton Moyer getting the handball across, but can only pick out Xavier O'Neill. The Bombers back long inside 50 in the Liam McMahon direction. Getting hands to it, Basutul, a free kick. And a Carlton ball. Inside their defensive 50. Which will go across the face for O'Farrell. He'll shift it on. Here's Lucas Campriali. Pick 54, also as a father-son in last year's draft intake. Goes down the line. Lemmy leading up at it from behind. Got hands to it and couldn't hold. Works that ball across. McQuay getting a hand in before Nelson could get there. Well played by Phipps Parsons to slap it on. Monaghan. Inside 50 it goes. Tough one for Vicentini to track. He had help. and receive the handball. Bombers hemmed in, and happy enough to go over there was Shane Clough. The ball in the forward pocket here for Carlton, who are mounting a bit of a late first quarter charge, or relatively late now that we're into time on. And it goes. Pitnet with a double-handed hit out, went straight in to complete the tackle, wrapped up again, we'll have another stoppage.
Into time on of the first quarter. 2 goals apiece here between the old foes. McKay streaking across the goal face and turning it over. Yet another turnover. Binns this time will go inboard to Ramshaw. And if Evans was able to cover the distance from around this range, and maybe Ramshaw's half a chance here as well, on what is a breezy day here at Windsor Hill. It's named that way for a reason.
Not as noted a goal kicker, Heath Ramshaw's Francis Evans, but he'll be right on his range, you'd think this.
He's trying to give himself as much room as possible. That may well have just been a lob to the square, and it's come off hands a number of times. Pitnet tried to soccer, but the last touch was not off his boot.
Not a bad attempt, though. Been wonderful had it gone through, but not to be. Up towards half-back. That's in front of Jared Eckersley, formerly of the Gold Coast Suns at this level. And ball back, Sartus. Finds Kieran Gallagher, who's been busy. Works it inboard for O'Neill. That just about travelled the 15. Former West Coast Eagle. Over 39 games for them at AFL level. Works the kick short. Haitley, he works it across. Ball from Solly McKay inside 50. Smart trying to get out the back with the body work early on Boyd. Down at ground level, a clean pickup with the one hand. The don't argue was brilliant. The dribble is wonderful. Absolutely astounding on so many levels to get the Bombers back in front.
Stuff like that, that's why he's now on an AFL list. He maintains his average of a goal a game this year in the Smithies VFL. 8 games, 8 goals for Oscar Smart. There have been plenty of highlights in this game already. Not the best conditions. It is windy, it has been wet. Hopefully the rain will stay away during this game. It feels like temp of 8.5 as well. Ollie, you and I are pretty well rugged up here at the top of the Cookson stand. A lot of long sleeves out there, understandably so. Ramshaw going inside 50 for the Blues. One of those forwards fell over. Monaghan picking up for a highlight of his own. It hits the post. That is a pocket where we see a lot of goals kicked because of the protection from the Reynolds stand. That is a friendly pocket for goal kicking, that one.
That would have been some finish. Didn't quite have the look of the Irish there, though, Rob Monaghan, as Gallagher goes to the back pocket. So Solly McKay, who will clear defensive 50. Towards half-back. They'll go back inside 50 here, though. Will the Blues? Ben Campriali up towards Lemmy, who outpointed Aquay. Just read it better. And Harry Lemmy, who's had quite the season so far up to this point, have a chance to shoot for goal number 17, and in a seesawing affair in this first term, put Carlton back in front.
He positioned himself in the right spot there. I reckon the Winds might have taken that ball toward this side of the ground, which meant he was definitely in the right spot to take it. That was good marking craft there by Lemmy.
Shooting for goal number 46 in his VFL career, all with the Blues, and he snuck it through. Made the goal umpire work, but they all count for the same. And it's the Blues who are back in front.
Ollie, you said it. We have a good game on our hands here. 2 teams that have only had 3 wins each this year in the Smithies VFL. Neither one really threatening the top 8 right now. They're putting on a good show so far. A total of 25 AFL listed players in this game. The winds, you can hear it out of effects, Mike. I think she's picking up. Up here, at least, it feels like it's definitely favouring the Essendon Primary School end, which is more often than not the case here at Windy Hill. That's the end that the Bombers are kicking to in this first quarter. Carlton dominating out of the middle, though. We go inside 50 again. It was an awkward bounce for Ryan Brodie. Evans needing to go back by hand. It's sent high once more. Over the head of Lemmy this time and pulled in by Vigo Vicentini. So the Bombers get a reprieve as long as this Vicentini kick's okay. And it just reaches Hall. Hately, I should say.
Jackson Hately, another former AFL listed player with the Giants. Called to move it on. Looks to the wing. Able to take a mark, even though it's May who tried. Play it goes. There's also an Adelaide Crow, as Jackson Hately, of course. Alongside his stint with Greater Western Sydney. Picking it out of the ruck contest. All at ground level. Squirms across. Played there by Billy Wilson. Doesn't look like that ball's getting out of there. Over the top is Ben Camprioli. In fact, it does get out of there. Took a while, but got there as Peris got the clearing ball. Inside the centre circles here at Windy Hill. Wrapped up there, Jai Menzies. Have another stoppage here. So we tick towards quarter time. It's a quarter that not many will really want to see end, I wouldn't think. Try and tumble it out of there by Will Hayes. Can't make anything of that as it's now with the Bombers. Owen Davey Jr. couldn't mark. Down at ground level, Lucas Camprioli is there. And there's a legging free kick that will go the Bombers' way. Here is Vigo Vicentini.
Gets handed back to Sheeran eventually. No one standing the mark for Carlton. He drills one into the pocket here. Comes off hand. Paris on its way. Carlton had a sweeper on the line. Reclaimed by Duffy.
They're going on off the ball.
There is in the foregrounds.
Boyd there for Carlton.
The Duffy kick's okay. Ramshaw. That wrestle still going on now. It's a 2-on-2. Not sure it's being caught on camera right now. This is a turnover. Big chance. Hately gets it back. Going for goal and it goes through. Jackson Hately doing it at both ends. It's goal for goal at Windy Hill.
Absolutely brutal turnover coming out your back 50 for Carlton. You don't want to give the ball to Jackson Hately, who's got plenty of experience. Highly touted draft pick with the Giants. Got plenty of talent. You don't want to be presenting him with an opportunity like that. Scuffle's cleared up now. It's Essendon with the lead back in what has been a barnstorming first term here from the traditional home of the Bombers. Firepower everywhere you look. Elijah Sarter's probably catching the eye of the Bombers fans here today. He's in the middle. Directly opposed with Heath Ramshaw. He'll get there ahead of Elijah Sarter's Heath Ramshaw. Works it up towards half forward. Flynn Young trying to work away out the back. He did well and then slipped. Lost his footing. Did the early work fine on Shane Clough, but when it came time to work the ball inside 50, just lost an edge. It's the 30th minute of this first term. Pitnet, something on it, won it down. Sartis in there, laying the tackle for Essendon. Umpire circling, but not to be holding the ball. Crosses himself, he'll move in. Pitnet down again. Bombers will get it out of there. Tumbling ball towards Menzies, couldn't quite take it with him. Owen Davey, he's caught by Jordan Boyd. Once more, these field umpires earning their keep.
Hayden Pearson, Luke Porter, Lockie Flynn in charge of the game here today. Gone with the 3-umpire system. We sometimes get the 4-umpire system here in the Smithies VFL. Stoppage on the outer side right now. Good start to this game. 7 goals, 6 combined. Carlton have let a few go. All thrown in. Pitnet doing battle with Vicentini. And that there was the quarter time siren. So 2 goals for Liam McMahon, the former Carlton captain.
Pitnet in there again for the Blues, and he'll rove after the hit out. Got it across to Francis Evans, who tumbles one towards half forward. Out of play. Eye to the umpire, who pays insufficient intent, much to the chagrin of those in navy blue. Well, here with Will Hoare. Has a couple of options inside his defensive 50. Will go down the line forward instead, up towards Archer May, who got hands to it, couldn't hold. Sutil there at ground level. Broke the tackle, but then ran out of room. Presented well last week in the Sunshine State, 17 disposals and 1 goal won for the former Werribee Districts junior. Free kick for high contact in the ruck. It's going against Vicentini too. More experienced Mark Pittenay, who will get it up towards half forward. Lemmy playing from behind. That one again out of play. This time it'll be thrown in.
There's a straight, skinny boundary line in front of the cricket nets here that catches so many out at Windsor Hill.
Mentioned earlier on, he was approaching 100 games in the VFL. Mark Pittenay, 96 today. He's kicked 25 goals in his first 95. So a milestone coming up for him in a few weeks, should he not be elevated to the AFL side.
It's been a decade in the system for Mark Pittenay, former Hawk. Boundary throw in. Camporelli forcing it forward for Carlton. Ball stayed in the air a while. Now it's in dispute. McKay, who was the leading ball getter on the ground, involved here in the first quarter. 8 touches for him. Lewis Young has 8 for the Blues, along with Ben Camporelli as well. Now it's a question of range for Darcy Hogg. 5 goals in his previous 8 outings here in the Smithies VFL. Might be aided by a touch of breeze here. There was a shot at goal that we saw. It eventually hit the post in the first quarter. Can't remember which Essendon player had that shot, Ollie, but that ball carried a long way. Hit the post fairly high from outside 50. What's Hogg got here? Just inside the arc and a complete mishit. He shins it basically. Might have been touched because no mark was paid. The hand pass going wide and eventually shown the boundary line is Luke Nelson. So he got close to the man on the mark there, Hogg. May well have been touched, and that's why the ball didn't really carry the way it normally would have otherwise.
It's a really tough one there for Oscar Smart, who was trying to get to the ball and who was inadvertently shepherded by the umpire. This one's sent back in the ruck, want it down. Haitley trying to clear away towards the top of 50. Slipping there was Binns. Ball down the line, pitch inside the field of play for Phillips. Out of play, will be thrown in. Fair atmosphere here at Windy Hill, as mentioned earlier. Both clubs well represented in the stands. Wobbling ball, take it within there was Cooper Vickery. Taken away smartly by Oscar Smart. The sidestep was nifty, away from Luke Nelson. He looks out wide, flared the kick over the boundary line. Another boundary throw in to come. It's very interesting how, as Aussie rules fans, we are now accustomed to glancing our eyes towards the umpire every time there is a 50-50 call. Anytime we're unsure, eyes go straight to the umpire every single time, and it's just part of the game now. Goes in again, Vicentini down towards Sartis, who overran it. Getting a toe to it, Will Hayes. Binns electing to soccer. Ball towards the boundary line. Basuto could watch this over. Took the ball and was shoved over by Ben Camporelli. And another boundary throw in here, as good as right in front of us on this near side wing.
Camporelli kicked a goal in the first quarter after receiving a free kick inside 50. That time he was the aggressor. Boundary throw in. I don't mean that in any bad way. A holding infringement. Umpire saying it's a free kick for Essendon. There you go, Vicentini spins it in his hands. Camporelli, by the way, that's Ben with 9 touches in this game. Driving ball towards half forward for Essendon. There's been no change to the quarter time score. It's heading boundary side once more. O'Neill trying to paddle it along. Binns, who's an accumulator at this level, is shown the boundary line by Oscar Smart. Not far away from the Essendon bench here. All 5 Bombers on the bench ready to come on. There's 4 Blues. So both teams want to clear the benches, ice hockey style here, Ollie. There's 4 for each that are waiting to come on. Boundary throw in. Umpire sees another. No, it's going to be a throw-in recall. That one not travelling far enough. Again, as you were saying, we're looking towards the umpire, thinking there might have been a free kick, but the throw-in fell well short. We go again. Interesting that the ball's on this side of the ground, but neither side is utilising that fact and allowing these interchanges to occur. There's 4 waiting for each side, and the ball is not far away. I think they'll be able to get those interchanges in. Ball sent wide, Charles sent, and then Binns. Handball got partially intercepted. Eventually, Menzies the one that's going to go inside 50 for Essendon. It's going to fall dangerously. May is in the area. Carlton have numbers across the goal line, and conveniently, the handball was heading for that goal line. Matt Duffy got a hand on it. They were able to disguise the deliberate nature of that behind, I think, Ollie.
It was professionally done. How do you do between Ethan Phillips and Archer May? Meantime, sent long from Boyd towards the breadbasket of Mark Pitternet, who couldn't lock the ball in there. A few Blues out there in long sleeves. Lewis Young, Jordan Boyd, and Matt Nelson. And Reece Unwin donning them while donning the sash for the Bombers. Thrown in again. Vicentini was in front. Couldn't get anything of it. Evans looking to barge through. Was caught high in the process. Worked the kick short. Good ball to Phipps Parsons. One of the 2 late-ins for the Blues today. Works the ball inside 50. Lemmy was behind. Did he infringe? He did. An easy one for the umpire to pick out. Will Hall will take the free kick here for Essendon.
Doesn't know if he wants to switch or go down the line. The latter is the safer option that we most often see in that situation. Arriving late on the scene was O'Farrell, but no mark taken. Umpire will call for a ball up. Taj Logan still waiting to come on. Binns finally comes off for him. Jackson Binns 7 touches today. Averages 25 in the VFL. He's named as an emergency for tonight's game. We did see a couple of holdovers from the squads that were initially named for this VFL game today. So Dylan Shield, Corey Durden, Hudson O'Keefe, who will make his debut tonight for the Blues. The 3 AFL players that were initially named in these squads for this game. And these squads came out late Friday arvo. Pitnet will do the dance once more with Vicentini. Tried to go by boot. Tardis did go by boot. It didn't go all that far though. Smart with the tackle here to make sure that Boyd was going nowhere. And this one has been a bit chippy. We've seen some of this already today, Ollie. Not much out of that one, but there have been a few little spot fires so far.
Jordan Boyd now involved a couple of times in these scuffles. Sartis over the top. Ball away from Ben Campriali. Pitnet got it from Hayes. Scrubbing ball. Good work by Darcy Hogg to keep his feet. Dish it in board. Wilson. He moved it on. Moyer. Back for Hogg. Here's Hogg. Just outside 50. Looking short. Towards the pocket. Numbers there. Can anyone take hold of this? It was well played by Flynn Young in there. Looked to try and find Darcy Hogg. Ball staying in. Now inside defensive 50. Here for the Bombers as Carlton looks to go on the attack here. Harry Lemmy catapulting himself into the ruck and winning it down. Ball sent high but not really away. Carlton will try and keep this in. Rob Monaghan in the vicinity. Can't find a way through either. Pitnet Again trying the volley out of the rock. Got it up to Flynn Young. With Hogg close by. Handball work back. And a crunching hit. Alwyn Davey. Flattening his man, Alwyn Davey Jr. With a bit of power. Lucas Camparelli was there. Blackiston responding. Got it across. And Paris will move it on.
Back to Blackiston. Left football going high. This is a highly intense game of footy. Lewis Young able to reclaim it for Carlton. Two youngs out there for the Blues today. Lewis dropping back and Flynn out of the mid-season draft as well. Essendon ball inside defensive 50. Ryan Brodie dumping back out. I think that might have been a drop mark in the end for O'Farrell. The ball is in dispute right now. Then the fumble as well, Young. Lucas Camparelli just tried to apply a little bit of pressure on O'Neill. It's gone out of play. Boundary throw in. So a relatively high-scoring first quarter. We've only seen 1 point scored in the second. That belongs to Essendon. And that was rushed. So no scores off any boots here in the second quarter so far. Getting a hand on it was Gallagher, but he hand passed into traffic. High contact and a free kick for Carlton. Loose ball picked up by Hogg. Hayes was just clutching at the hip as well. Quickly went out wide toward Wilson. Drove one towards 50. Good defensive effort. Ball became momentarily neutral. Wilson goes once more inside 50. Hoare trying to impact on it against Monaghan. And once again, the boundary line wins. And in front of the Essendon Primary School, which is where Alwyn Davey Jr. went to school. Prep to year 12, or grade 6, isn't it, in primary school?
Yep,
that's right.
on.
It's been a while, Wally, since...
Maybe you should go back to school. Throw him back in. Vicentini. Here's Flynn Young, working around on himself. Tried to square the ball up. Sartis involved, got taken in the tackle. Interesting decision to handball across. Carlton with the pressure. Lucas Camparelli in there. So too Hogg. He was taken and gone. Here for Jordan Basutel. Ball across. Working around Vicentini. Shifting it on. Gallagher. Himself involved too. Taha. His first VFL game since his debut back in round 19, 2023, which came against the Swans. Time in between drinks for him. Ball down the line. Able to reel the mark in. The umpire will move in as Lewis Young tries to get his way through.
Out near the old manual scoreboard here. It's showing a 3-point lead for Essendon. We've gone goalless in the first nearly 13 minutes of this second quarter. Hogg regaining for the Blues. Went wide by hand. Logan will send it high back up toward the wing. Lemmy might have had to do some defending there in among a couple of Bombers. Now to tackle on Hoare near the boundary line. Stoppage heavy game all of a sudden this one. 3 wins each in the Smithies VFL for these two clubs in season 2025. Is that a late whistle for the mark? I think it was. So Archer May will get up and go. Long driver inside 50. It goes over McMahon's head. And Phillips, his former teammate, yet again, intercept marking. He's so good at that. He's probably the best in the league at it. Is Ethan Phillips. That's why he got his look at AFL level not too long ago. Hayes, another one that's formerly AFL listed. Late inclusion today, Hayes. An accumulator at this level. A long kick down the line by Logan once more. And it's a game of kick to kick on the outer wing. Blackiston gets it back for Essendon.
And his first stint with the Bombers at AFL list. In the mid-season draft recently. Here's Moyer. Looking towards the pocket. Lemmy on the leads. And on the slide, taking the mark. Good poise by Ashton Moyer. Sized up his options and found that Harry Lemmy was the best one. Goal earlier on in the piece, in the first term. Harry Lemmy, right of centre, formerly of West Adelaide in the Sandful system, will go right-footed with the set shots and miss. Away to the left for one behind. Margin closed to 2 points.
Last goal was kicked by Jackson Haitley 27.5 minutes into the first quarter. In this second quarter, it's only a behind a piece. Free kick, Carlton. Ball handed back to Taj Logan, who's had a couple of moments in this second quarter. He'll lob one to the pocket. A Quay front position. Hoare allowed him to mark it. He's a former Blue. Dom Quay. Once more, Essendon get out of defensive 50. Mark's taken by Taha. Blues have numbers at the back side of the contest here. Phillips involved again. Wilson chipping it along the boundary line. That was okay. Logan again. Hayes got it further along. It all fell apart once Fling Young was under some pressure. As soon as he got the ball in the boundary line, yet again, one out.
So it's the Bombers by 2 points, as it was quarter time. Second term, not as free-flowing as the first. Lewis Young in the ruck for the Blues. It's worked out to O'Neill. Just handball across. Unwin in the long sleeves will look inside 50. Jerime work his way out the back. Wouldn't quite sit for Eckersley. Carlton with numbers back. Ramshaw. Try and work this, the Blues. Wilson. He lost it. Taking the back there was Alwyn Davey Jr. And a free kick coming here for the Bombers. As we look for the first goal of this term. Made his AFL debut back in round 1 of 2023 against the Hawks. He's played 20 games at AFL level with the Bombers, being taken as a father-son prospect. This to send the lead to 8 points from directly out in front. Right-footed, and he salutes. Alwyn Davey Jr. kicking another here at Windy Hill, and that's finally the first goal to either side in this second term.
Michael Aaron going down the slide, I think, tomorrow at the MCG.
On an occasion, that is.
The Freeze MND cause, of course. Plenty of beanies out on display today, including our goal umpires. Chris Doyle and Stephen Paperno, the goal umpires here today in the Freeze MND beanies. Blues get the clearance again. It skids towards half forward. Monaghan feigned the handball. Got onto the left boot and sent it skyward. Evans get infringed upon. It's going to be handed back to him. He fell down in that marking contest. He kicked a goal in the first quarter. It was Kieran Gallagher coming across to get a fist on it. Francis Evans gets a look at his second goal here. Margin right now is 8 points. We went a long time between goals in this game. We might get two in a couple of minutes, but Evans hits it off the instep. As much as that end of the ground can be favoured for goal kicking, it is awfully tricky because it's so exposed out there. A lot of shots do miss. to the left of screen here at Windsor Hill.
Brody working that one short to the back pocket from the kick in. Ball towards half back. Reece Unwin. Pick 61 in the most recent VFL draft. Goes towards the wing. Looking for Smart, couldn't quite find him. Over there for the Blues was Duffy. Now the booming boot from Boyd towards half forward. I'm not there for Pitnet, but he was clean at ground level. Worked the handball across, it's up towards half forward. It was passes, couldn't quite reel it in. Chance for the Blues though towards the top of the square. Unable to hold there, Francis Evans as it squirms out the back. Blackiston had to be good and was. Clears defensive 50. O'Farrell roving at ground level. Moyer involved. The Blues back inside 50. Hogg with the squirming ball short. Good tackle Basutul, and he'll be rewarded for it. The Bombers will take the advantage.
But Smart is told to hold things up by his teammates, and he obliges. No one standing the mark for Carlton, so he'll take the space. Smart kicked a good goal in the first quarter. Driving ball towards half forward. May takes a good mark. Is he thinking about a shot here? The mark is right on 50. Smart's about to run by for the handball. Archer May is at least going to go back.
He was the player who had the behind when it was set to Radnor's range down to the left of your screen in the first term. The one that hit the post 3/4 of the way up. This one into the breeze might be a little bit tougher, but he'll give it every chance.
He's just done the Matt Lloyd and pick up the grass and see what that's doing with the wind. Lloyd would have done that many times here at training over his illustrious career. That's not a bad hit from May. Gee, he's got some distance in that boot, hasn't he? It's missed, but he has no problem covering the distance at all.
Fair travel. That wasn't the problem, was it? The distance. It was the accuracy that wasn't quite what it needed to be. Jordan Boyd to bring this one in for Carlton. Former mid-season pick himself. Goes long, down the line. Vicentini went up early. Quay was trying to take the ball as a free kick for a push. That would be against Vicentini for the early fly. Pitnet will take it on after the unrealistic attempt deemed by the umpires. Pitnet will look down the line towards Monaghan, who couldn't hold. Brought to ground. Nelson off the shin. Moving through Haitley. Was he held without it? According to the officials, Day went in. He was caught high. And Rob Monaghan, who wasn't about to get out of his way in any quick time. May playing on, looking down the line towards attacking 50. O'Farrell brought it to the deck, trying the step and doing it well there was Eckersley once, then twice. Handball short, Smart, he went with the don't argue. Good luck getting Mark Pitnet away like that. Out of play it goes for a boundary throw-in. It's all happening here at Windy Hill.
Front of the Reynolds stands, relatively well populated today. It's gotten a bit colder in this second quarter. We did start this game in sunshine, that's gone. Quick check of the radar, Ollie, and the good news is I think we're going to stay dry. A lot going on to the west of us, but none of that is going to hit us. The rain band that is going through central West Victoria right now. Boundary throw in. That is normally where most of the weather comes from, but see if it hits us. Right now the radar says no. Binns receives from Lucas Camporelli. Quay was initially on the back foot, and that was the opposite of what we saw before. He nearly got in the way of Hoare taking that mark. It was Hoare nearly getting in Quay's way earlier in the quarter. Well kept in by Smart. Two tacklers to deal with. Back to O'Neill. High left footer. Alwyn Davey Jr. against Pitnet. That's a fairly sizable advantage for Pitnet. One of the Blues players went down and is a little slow to get up. It's fumbled out of play by Vickery. There is a Carlton player still slow to get up. I think he's going to be okay, Jordan Boyd. Slowly walks his way back inside 50. So a boundary throw in front of the Essendon bench. After we saw 7 goals kicked in the first quarter, only 1 here in the second. That was Alwyn Davey Jr. Pitnet grabs it and kicked it straight into Busuttil. Another stoppage.
4.5 gone second term. Pitnet. And on the volley. As far as the Bombers though, Iacobone involved. Works it short, O'Neill towards half forward. Iacobone doing the roving. Handball towards Smart, who took it, tried to brush off Lewis Young. Handball across, Unwin, spun around. Did about a 540 degree turn there. Be ball up inside forward 50 here for the Bombers. Goal here late in the piece in the second term would do very nicely for them. Losing his footing, Lucas Campriali. Hayes trying the exit kick and saw it smothered. O'Neill works it across. Sartus to try and square it up. Unwin's in the vicinity. Alwyn David Jr. too. Boyd back there for Carlton. Scrubs the ball towards the top of 50. Might well be coming back. Loading up. McKay. Blues well stocked back there. Could have raffled it off. Binns took it. Played on. Looks in the back pocket. Dangerous ball. Yeah, well played. Taj Logan back there. Go to the left back pocket and locate Ethan Phillips.
Vickery. I don't know if this will be a short quarter or a long quarter. Not much scoring, but plenty of stoppage. Nearly at the 26-minute mark and still going in quarter number 2. Barsatil going back inside 50, but well over the head of Smart, and just getting back is Vickery. And so we're back where we started 30 seconds ago. Nothing happening across goal. Onto the left. Pitnet. Did well against Jerine. Got the handball out quickly to Camporelli. Who went to Camporelli? It was Lucas to Ben. Monaghan just straddling that straight boundary line, and just enough pressure coming from Clough late to force the mistake. And it's back in Essendon possession. Quay will pick up the loose Sharon. So a game of two very different halves here. High quality first quarter, stoppage heavy second quarter. Much more contested this one. A lot of players around this ball, but it's well taken by Hoare.
Will Hoare had McMahon pointing down the lineup in the air. Will go shorter than that. Sartus, he'll go in the McMahon direction. Inside forward 50 for the Bombers. Good take, Harry O'Farrell, who will work the kick back. Binns had Lewis Young for company short and gave it to him. Chipped it on towards the former Coburg line in Nelson, who even outstretched couldn't take it. Taj Logan back there. He hit the deck. Umpire will wait and call for play to continue. And now we'll blow it to a stop. Tough stop. Vicentini and Pitnet going at it. One down for Ben Campriali. Around the body. A high ball to the wing. Just trying to track it. The Bombers was beaten to it by a teammate in Smart. McQuay looking for the lateral handball. Went over the boundary line and had a play. It'll be tossed back in with 28 gone in this second term.
Feels like the wind is picking up here, certainly from our vantage point in the Cookson stand. It's still favouring the left of screen.
So long as the rain doesn't, I'm fine with this.
Well, if you want to trust the radar on the bomb app, then it should miss us. That's if you want to trust it. It can't always be trusted, we know that. Which way is this ball going? Carlton's. That's just as Jerine had it. And that'll see us through to half-time. Well, very different kinds of football that we saw in the second quarter compared to the first, but a good game of footy nonetheless. A good contest between. We're into the third quarter now, the rain's still holding off.
Wonder if the artificial light will have to take over at some point as Carlton get the opening clearance of this third term. It's up to Francis Evans. Marks on the edge of right half forward, gets it inside 50, Quay across the front. He couldn't mark, brought it to ground. Look for the handball across, Menzies in there for the Bombers. Down at ground level, Moyer trying to fashion something. It's hit the behind post on the bounce. This one will be thrown in. Someone's happy at something. Seemed rather low event, but it's caught the eye of somebody who is whooping and cheering as if they've just kicked the match winner.
Well, they just got up in the quaddie.
So back in. Vicentini in the rock. Put it down. Here's Flynn Young around the body. Looking for his first as a Carlton listed player, but couldn't quite find it.
Give a shout out to the random Carlton staff member that gave us a free box of chips at halftime. Ollie. Don't know who that person was, but we thank you. Toward this near side of the ground. It's a good day for the hot chips here at Windsor Hill, by the way. May takes a good mark.
Never a bad one, though, is there?
It is a free entry game, this one, if you want to come down to Windsor Hill. May's kick. Marked by Smart, who has had a good game.
Reversed it. It's going the other way.
Got to give it back. The ball is thrown back to Harry O'Farrell. Dropped out of the AFL lineup. The Blues making a lot of changes. They're coming off a bye, obviously. Got Essendon at the top level tonight. Look away handball from Hayes and did bounce off the shin of Ramshaw. It took another bounce or two before it went out.
Should be a good watch tonight at the MCG. Two fierce old Victorian rivals going at it under lights on a Sunday night, if you don't mind. Should be a fair bit of fun, that one.
Don't mind some Sunday night football. We do get it.
And the ball goes, Pitnet in front, want it down. Bombers will try and take this one away. Menzies got something on it, and Campriali. Hayes with a clever step in field, works it inside 50 towards a hot spot. Moyer's in there for the Blues. Aquay dropped the mark, stealing in his Lemmy, got it across. Opportunity might present itself. Lucas Campriali, Flynn Young for a second crack at it. Had Binns towards the goal square, didn't need him. First goal as a Blue for Flynn Young. And their recent mid-season acquisition finds himself in the goals, and they all get to him.
Two early shots at goal. The second one goes through. He was happy with it as well. For Carlton, it's their first goal since the 24-minute mark of the first quarter. Ollie, more regular Sunday night football in the AFL fixture, yay or nay?
Yay. Definitely. We see it sometimes in Western Australia with the time zone difference, but when we get it here in Melbourne before a public holiday, absolutely, it's good fun. I wouldn't mind seeing it regularly.
Most of the pushback is from parents, and in fact the kids still have school the next day. I myself am a parent, and I'm still for it, I think, Ollie. I'm happy to bring my little one to the footy on a Sunday night if that's what she wants to do. Back inside 50. Shrugging off the tackle was Smart. Had it for a long time. Did get the ball out eventually. Mays had a fair bit of it. Tardis will go high to the square. Jerine getting back there. Comes off hands. Is it going to stay in play? Did momentarily for Menzies. Did it slip out? No, it's going to be a ball for Binns. Did he get holding the ball? Perhaps Jackson Binns. Carlton ball next to the behind post. Binns. Short for Ben Camperelli. It's the Bombers by 1 point. A low score. It was a high-scoring first quarter. Not much happened in the second. It's been close all day. Pitnet stood tall in the tackle. Ben's working his way up the ground. Charlson changed his kick late, used his vision well. Evans, plenty of Blues available in the corridor, 2-on-1, but the one did well. It was Paris getting involved for Essendon. Ground level ball. Paris leaving it behind. The loose ball was then picked up by Camperelli. Pitnet's kick. He didn't go far. Davey Jr. for Menzies, and fresh off the bench in plenty of space is Taha.
Here's Taha. Has options long if he wants. Will skewer the kick. It's not a great one. Waiting arms of Lewis Young. He will chip across for his fellow Blue in the long sleeves in Jordan Boyd. He's called to go. Sends the kick down the line. Pitnet, was he edged out by Vicentini? Not according to the officials, not initially at least. The out-of-zone umpire will pay it, and Carlton will take the advantage. The kick inside 50 for Lemmy. Heel mark. Does he go back and have a shot for goal, or does he try and set someone else up? Goes to the latter, looks low, not a great ball. Aquay got it across. Basuta will try and clear. It's an interesting ball that Sartis reads well. Haitley back there. He toms it outside defensive 50. Smart has McMahon down the line. Well, send him a little bit wide, but he'll keep it in on the bounce. Liam McMahon, right-footed, looks up towards Archie May. Couldn't hold. Well defended by Lewis Young, who will work the handball back. And Carlton will have to go from one end to the other if they're trying to plot a way out here.
Nancy did well to pick it up off the half volley, gets it back now. Ball is skidding around a little bit today. Kick for Monaghan's good. Well done, Heath Ramshaw. The skipper leading by example. Lemmy thought about the handball over the top. Fataj Logan had a very good second quarter. Moya, Evans, good use of the ball by the Blues. Some slick ball movement, and it was mistake-free from back to forward line. Evans, who did kick one from a fair bit further out in the first quarter. This time he's close enough to go with the left foot snap. This will give Carlton the lead. And it will be a Carlton ball in the pocket. Diving effort. The mark taken by Sterling Phipps Parsons, who has kicked a goal from his previous two outings in the Smithies VFL. But he's tucked up against the behind post here. It goes across the goal face.
Well played by Phipps Parsons to take the mark, but couldn't quite provide the finish. Kieran Gallagher to play on here for the Bombers. Clears defensive 50 up towards Will Hoare. He couldn't complete the job. May down at ground level. He's beset upon by Heath Ramshaw. We're all squared up after that behind. 5-3 playing 4-9. Essendon more accurate. Carlton with more opportunities. Haitley, Vasatis, tried the step, gave it away. Moya, he looked towards Taj Logan, who will get there. Hayes got it across. Monaghan trying the step, got boots of ball. Unable to hold it, Evans. Blackiston back there for the Bombers. Free kick for high contact. And a little bit happening after the whistle too. And a 50-metre penalty going the way of Essendon. They are well away from trouble now. Basutal in the 68 for the Bombers. Will sink the right foot into it. McMahon leading up in it. Was he blocked out unfairly? Answer to that is no. And a mark inside defensive 50 for Ethan Phillips.
He's done it again, Ethan Phillips. Handball off Wilson toward the outer side, but he kicked it into space more so than to a teammate. Gains a fair bit of territory at least. Boundary throw in. Tempo's up again. It's a bit of a slower second quarter. The first quarter was from the top shelf. A bit more speed on the ball once more here in the third. And it's 33 apiece. Ball on ground level. Vicentini eventually extracting it out. Haitley and Smart involved as well. Haitley goes in again. It went past Paris. Vicentini got involved to Unwin. Bouncing off an opponent. Held up by Nelson eventually. Turnover, Nelson gets it back for Carlton. He's going in toward an empty 50, but the mark is taken by Lemmy, who plays on and kicks the goal. And the Blues are back in front.
Had to kick it, didn't he, Harry Lemmy? It was a little bit of a rush of blood, but it works.
Had all the space in the world. I think he knew that. And he's had a couple of good moments of forward craft here today. He's now got 2 goals, and the Blues have momentum. And the way they are using this ball in what are some slippery conditions, they are making it look like that we're under the lid at Marvel right now in absolutely perfect conditions, the way they're moving the ball.
So with conditions a little bit interesting underfoot, we have got some clean footy here at Windy Hill. Carlton playing the better of it right now. Pitnet won it down. As far as Haitley, you got it to Taha. He'll get it inside 50. No mark in there as of yet for the Bombers. Eckersley couldn't hold. Sweeping handball over the top from Young. Intercepted by Smart, who tried the step. Worked it back towards May. Suter will keep it in. Looking towards the pocket. And a couple of options back there for the Blues. They will win out. Cross from Charlson. Phillips for Lewis Young, who will dish one over the top. Will Hayes, the former Bulldog, he goes down the line to the wing, and it's chopped off by Vicentini, who immediately looks forward. Chips one short, looking for Gerine, who crashed in on Nelson. Hayes slipped as he kicked, got it to Ben Camprioli, who will send one long down the line.
One-on-one, Lemmy's okay in that situation. Did he draw the free kick? Umpire saying holding, and it will be a Carlton ball. Harry Lemmy having a good day here. He's looking to set up a chance at goal this time, though. About 90 metres from home. Low data, bends, a lot of power in that ball, couldn't take it. Here's Yakovone on debut. Late left foot ball, it's going to be reeled in by O'Farrell. Could go to Phillips short, but he's not looking in that direction. He's going longer and more direct. O'Farrell's kick. It's going to land about 30 out, coming in very late. There's Vicentini, no mark taken. Stoppage inside 50. Essendon under siege right now.
Had a fair look at that, Vicentini, but couldn't do all the work required. Thrown up again. He'll win it down in the rock. Taha spinning away from traffic. His clearing ball straight to Cooper Vickery, who sends Carlton back into attack, looking for Young. Could spoil Blackiston. Bombers really under threat here. A free kick for a throw, and it will be a Carlton ball. But he's thrown towards no one in particular. Eventually it's with Sterling Phipps-Parsons, who had the look a few minutes ago from the right forward pocket that he couldn't capitalise on. This, not much of a better angle, but maybe marginally so. Man from the Old Savs kicked 6 goals in a game against St Bernard's back in round 8 of last year in the VFL. Part of 29 that he kicked in 17 VFL appearances last year, so he knows how to thread the needle. Can he do it with a right-footed ball here? He can! What a sterling finish from Phipps-Parsons. And it's a 12-point lead here for the Blues.
They've kicked 3 in a row now. It is quite dark now here at Windsor Hill as well. There isn't much lighting available at this facility, but they might still need to turn it on, I think. It is very dark right now over Windsor Hill. Feels like temp at the start of the day was 8.5. That's down to 6.3.
Are we in Essendon or Northern England here with temperatures like that?
This would be relatively balmy.
You know, let's get the barbecues out in Northern England with temperatures like this.
If it was the middle of winter. Free kick out of the middle here. Taha to claim it for Essendon. Woody Taha looking both ways here. Ball held up for a fair while, and that opens up the door for Jordan Boyd to kill it. Boundary throw in. It has stayed dry overhead though. Fingers crossed it'll stay that way, because it is a pretty good game of footy, this one. It was a bit of a lull for a lot of the second quarter, but we have seen a good contest here. And Carlton has the momentum right now. They've kicked 3 in a row. Forced forward by Barsatil. Had the pressure on him applied by Hayes. Camporelli releasing ball for Logan. Hayes moving it on toward Moyer, slipping over at the exact wrong moment. Haitley was closing in. Ball was regained by Taha. Went down the line. Had good vision to pick out O'Neill. Drives a longer one inside 50. O'Farrell staying down. Wonder if May was nudged under that ball. O'Farrell regains for Carlton and goes to Phillips.
From the Box Hill Hawk, Port Melbourne Borough man Ethan Phillips refines Harry O'Farrell. The boyhood blue bagger goes right-footed. Play by Owen Davey Jr. to make a play on the ball. Maybe the Blues will get it away up towards half forward. Lemmy the target. Let it hit it hard. It's crowded out by a number of Bombers, and they should be able to bring this away. Blackiston got the handball across. It's now with Taha, who will work one over the top. Sutil's involved. Step there, O'Neill to cross towards the former Next Generation Academy prospect for the Bombers in Taha. He's up towards half forward over the head of Boyd. Trickle towards Menzie, who was almost worried out of it there. The Carlton was Vickery. Whistle from the umpire. We'll signal a ball up here, just inside attacking 50. Here for Essendon, who trail by 12 points around the midway stage of this third term. Ball at ground level, farmed on the up, chance for Unwin. Hit the belly of the ball right to the line, and in the end the wrong side. There was contact before it got to the goal line, but one behind all the same. 11-point lead here for the Blues.
Yeah, the momentum of that ball kept heading for the left. Minor score. So the Blues have it back. Bombers need a goal. Jordan Boyd will get the hurry up here. Doesn't know where to go. Eventually comes to the near side. Lemmy underneath this ball. It goes over the top of everyone. Sardis regains for Essendon. Had the standing start. Delivers to 50. May, 2 bites at the cherry and took the mark. And he might think about a shot here. Ethan Phillips is standing outside the arc. But Archer May has quite the boot on him. Decides not to shoot. Late pressure coming from Lemmy. That might have been enough to force a turnover. Lemmy has been very good today. Now he takes the mark in front of Aquay. A former teammate of Lemmy's. Lemmy now in his third year at Carlton. Quay, formerly of the Blues. This is Bince, another one that's had a lot of VFL experience. In for his 6th Smithies VFL game of the season today, averaging 25 touches at this level. Lemmy again the target. There'll be a lot of Carlton fans, Ollie, watching that. Seeing if they are regular watchers of the VFL side. I'll be quite happy with what Harry Lemmy's providing today.
He can't be too far away, can he, from an AFL look if he keeps playing like this? Slapped towards the boundary line by Lewis Young. Particularly now he's seen Hudson O'Keefe graduate, so to speak. Kicked 7 goals in a game against the Swans at VFL level. Hit net to win it down, Vicentini to take it. He was then taken in the tackle. Still the margin sitting at 11 points. It's net over the top. Able to take it with him, Smart. Iacovone caught from behind, wrapped up by Boyd, and he will get the decision, Jordan Boyd. Former Spotswood junior here for the Blues. Steps around Iacovone with relative ease. Goes right-footed inside 50. Lemmy's in there. Quay from behind. And just making sure it didn't get out the back. McKay. But he shove a fair one on Phipps Parsons. It's how to play for a boundary throw-in.
Approaching time on of the third quarter. Bombers only 1 behind to their name in the third quarter. The Blues have kicked 3 goals too. They've got it inside 50 right now, but it's not coming out easily. Ben Camporelli involved. He's the leading ball getter on the ground with 21. And that is 4 clear. Elijah Sardis with 17 for Essendon. Phillips up to 15 now with 9 marks. Quite a few of those intercept marks, 8 intercept possessions for Ethan Phillips in this game. Holding. And a free kick going Carlton's way. Jordan Boyd. Boydie, they cry out. He's going for pit nets, and he nearly actually took it. Kept it front side. Picked up by Hogg. How's it going to bounce here? Quay looking to sweep over. He's happy to see it go out in the end. Knew that that's where the ball was tracking. And he got the desired outcome in the end. It's deep inside 50 for the Blues here. They've kicked the last 3. In what has become a low-scoring affair. It was a high-scoring first quarter. Just a 1 goal kicked in the second. Illegal Shepherd Umpire stops play completely. It is a free kick for Gerard, and now it's going to be 50. Kale Gerard to be brought to the middle of Windy Hill.
It was Flynn Young who kept going and kicked for goal after the whistle, which of course you can't do.
Short 50?
Relatively. Maybe just short of 50, but not too far short if it is, I wouldn't think. Laterally to Aquay, who will just poke one down the line. It's a good ball for Sartus, who has plenty of red and black cavalry to aim for inside attacking 50. Pops one up. High enough ball. Eckersley couldn't bring it down. Then laid the tackle. Umpire circling, holding the ball. And an Essendon free kick. Huge opportunity this. Jared Eckersley, the Premiership son at this level, today playing game 50 in the VFL. 25 of those with the Suns, so an even half and half split. Been relatively quiet today, a chance to make this his moment. Right-footed, he's got it. Back to a 5-point game, and on his milestone day, Jared Eckersley gets the Bombers to back within a kick.
Played in the EFL Grand Final out here last year in the exact same colours that he wears now with Essendon. That would be Pascoe Vale. They do wear the Essendon jumper in the Essendon District League. It is really dark and gloomy here, but the bright spot is the game itself. We have a good one. Umpires are now throwing it up in the middle. Haitley jumps on the footy, release the handball quickly. Mackay, Sardis, loose teammate at centre half forward is Smart. Had momentum going forward as he marks it, but he does hold himself up. And we'll go back and take the 30 seconds at least here. If there's enough breeze at his back, you might think he has this distance covered. And this would be for 2 in a minute for Essendon. And a reclaiming of the lead as well if it goes through. Oscar Smart kicks one of the goals of the day in the first quarter. Gives it everything, but it's going to be offline. Wanted to get as much power behind that ball as possible, and as a result, the ball ended up carrying to the right. And the kick in to be taken by Wilson.
Billy Wilson, man from the Mornington Peninsula, towards the wing, to ground. So free kick there for Carlton there is. It's Camporeale who is underneath all of that. Looks short, Binns. Averaging touch under 25 disposals in the Smithies VFL this year from his previous 5 appearances. Right footed up towards Pitnet, over his head. Lemmy was clean bowled. Well played there by Will Hoare. Up towards half forward, crashing in from behind McMahon against his former side. May reading it well on the bounce. He was caught high by Harry O'Farrell. As the Essendon forwards return to their post inside forward 50. Eckersley was furthest forward, offering a lead. It goes in his direction, he couldn't bring it all down. Sartus roving, gave the handball back. Now with McKay, he'll dish it across. Sartus again, all the way back with Aquay. He'll work it across. McKay again, touched off the boot. Taking the ball for the Blues, Lucas Camporeale. They should be away here, Carlton. Not now.
It's gone on the full. Weather update, Ollie. Maybe some late rain coming in the last quarter. Just to add another element to this game, which is an arm wrestle at Windy Hill. Gerard's in the middle of the ground. thinking about his options. Will go short and wide for Blackiston. 2 kicks from home, the Bombers. They're 1 kick from the lead. He'll go with the centering ball, and it's going to be marked in the corridor. Arriving late, Gallagher wants to move it on quickly, goes in the direction of McMahon, who against his old side has kicked 2 goals. They were the first 2 goals of the game here today. Haven't really spotted Liam McMahon much since. But he's going for his 3rd.
And for his 100th.
That's across his VFL career. He's kicked 28 goals for the season. Well, the club that gave him so much and eventually led to the opportunity here with Essendon that he's playing against here today. The former Carlton captain. He fist pumped as soon as the ball came off his boot. Essendon back in front. We heard him on the State of Play podcast with Joe Pignataro and Gemma Bastiani during the week. Ollie spoke about how awkward this was going to be for him. He hasn't had a lot of the ball today, but when it has come his way, he's been so damaging. 3 goals now for McMahon.
He's done his job, hasn't he? He has done his job. 2 goals early, the first 2 of the game for the Bombers. Since then, hardly sighted in truth, but he bobs up with a big goal to get his team back in front. His new team against the old mob. Caught with it smart. Just about released it. Bombers will get it out of there. Tumbling ball inside 50 as it's slapped on rather cleverly from Jarine. Couldn't find a teammate there. A free kick for a leg. And it'll be another Essendon ball. Jai Menzies with ball in hand for the Bombers here. Crive 30 seconds down from the Bombers bench. This one might come right on the siren, if not just before, to put the Bombers 8 points in front. Jai Menzies with a crucial kick. It's right-footed. It's offline. It stayed in play for McMahon, who couldn't bring it down. 1 behind, and it'll be a 3-point margin most likely as we head into the final change.
Ben Camporelli leading ball getter on the ground, 22 disposals and 9 clearances. Elijah Tardis is on 20 disposals for Essendon, leading ball getter for the Bombers. I think I've said his name 3 different ways today. Apologies for that. Elijah Tardis. It's going to be a long driving ball toward this near side of the ground. Mark will be paid for pit net. How long left? The signs are up on the Essendon bench. We can't see what those signs are. There was a call of 30 seconds. Turns out there was only a second or 2 left on the clock by the time pit net put boot to ball, and it's 3-quarter time between Essendon and Carlton with a quarter to play. Here's Ollie Walker-Peel.
Ball back in the middle in this 4th and final term. And Campriali with the early clearance. Bombers with some defending to do. Well played in the end. Another stoppage. Bins and Menzies trying to get involved for their respective sides. Pitnet won it down. 4 Bins, who couldn't quite take it with him. Neither Sarters. Played to get the handball free. Smart was involved there. Menzies. May inside 50 towards McMahon, who was a little bit caught on his heels. Good play by Ethan Phillips. It's been an intriguing matchup all afternoon, which will continue into the last.
Yeah, so some very gentle light rain starting to fall now. It's going to make things a little more slippery. The ground is mostly held up pretty well after some traffic on it yesterday as well, but in parts of it starting to get chopped up at the same time. So, as I said at the end of the 3rd quarter, this could get wet and wild late. Vicentini going inside 50. Mark was dropped. What's the umpire seen here? There's a lot of congestion around that ball. Potentially a non-controlling umpire saw the free kick. It's going to be paid on the last line of defence for Carlton. The ball is coming all the way back to Cooper Vickery. So we're sitting on a feels-like temperature of 6.5. It is very, very chilly. I know, Ollie, you might be used to that. Even with the lack of daylight out here, another element that you might be used to as well in the Northern Hemisphere. Right now, the ball in dispute on the outer side. It's a hard ball to extract here. Umpires looking over the top of it. Saw some high contact, and that'll released. Break things up a little bit. Carlton get the free kick.
Working off the half-back line here. Flynn Young down the line. A strong spoil from Oscar Smart from behind. Have it thrown in again. Three-point lead here for the Bombers. 2.5 gone. Fourth and final. Vicentini from behind. Couldn't get a hand to it. Was he blocked in the process? He was doing the blocking on Pitnet, who immediately gave it short. Boyd to look inside 50 towards Harry Lemmy! And he's not been paid the mark. He had almost all of it, but not enough. The exit kick from O'Neill was smothered. And so close to one out of the highlight reel for Harry Lemmy.
I think he kept asking the question, and I think rightly so. I think he had it.
That is as line ball a call as you can get. And the umpires giving it against Harry Lemmy. Didn't give away a free kick, but was denied the opportunity to take a set shot. Sarters working it across. McKay, if the Bombers look to go back to go forward, he'll take the mark inside defensive, 50.
I can understand why it might not have been paid, but it looked okay from here. To be fair, we are a long way from it. McKay's kick down the line. This is Vicentini. Lowish kick. Awkward one. Smart in the long sleeves now. Ball sent forward by Lucas Camporelli. Falls out the back to Lemmy. Got boot to ball quickly. Moya running back. Takes the mark. Decides not to go all the way from here. He'll take the set shot.
Hadakwe close enough by that taking the set shot and being a little bit more cautious, probably the right option, because it's not one where you want to play on and then get run down, particularly when you're about to shoot for the lead.
Yep, the lead has exchanged hands a couple of times in this second half. This to give it back to Carlton. Left foot's on its way. Moya kicks it. His first today. His 10th for the season. And for Carlton, the lead is theirs once more.
It was good movement, wasn't it, from Carlton, and really clever from Ashton Moya to fashion a way out the back. Knew that he had some separation on Akwe if the kick was good enough, and it was. Straight to the spot. But he needed it to be. Put the brakes on. Kick the goal. Carlton back in front. Which of these two teams can deal with the wet better? Hayes going underground. And Campariali in there. Sarters 2 for the Bombers. Works it back towards halfback. Gallagher almost mown down. Ramshaw will send it long towards the top of the square. Couple of one-on-ones there. Lemmy there for the Blues. Brought it to ground. Got boot to ball. Blackiston back there for the Bombers. Intercepted. Monaghan! Goals! Rob Monaghan with maybe his most important kick as a Blue. Gives Carlton some breathing space.
They've been able to chain goals together a couple of times today. And now they've got a buffer with the threat of rain coming as well. Margin 9 points right now. The Bombers, yet again, find themselves chasing the game. Sardis scooped it illegally to Paris, and the advantage was taken. Kick going inside 50. Lemmy diving and marking. He's shown some good forward craft in contested marking today. He's kicked a couple goals. That time had to dive down to scoop that ball up. He's showing plenty for a man that still has not had his look at the top level. Going for his third here. It's going to be a tough kick. The ball can swirl around at this part of the ground if you don't put it in the right spot. Might have to go left goalpost here. Distance not the issue. Accuracy is. The Blues out to a double-figure lead now.
Gallagher from fullback. Interesting ball, a poor one. And chopped off by Darcy Hogg. He looked inboard, took a quick glance, and he's now back on the runway. What a couple of minutes for Carlton. Can it be emphasised and accentuated with a Darcy Hogg goal here? A rather sizable run-up for Darcy Hogg. The son of Matthew, who played 114 games at the top level for the Blues, from beyond 50, gives it every chance, across the face, and play on the call from the umpires. It stayed in, and we will have a ball up from as good as right on the goal line.
Yep, ball thrown up here. A lot of congestion around it, as you can imagine, and it still hasn't been rushed over the line. It stays in play. Pit net tapping on. It was a game of volleyball. Eventually it went through for that rush behind that felt like it was coming. 11-point lead for Carlton. And the Bombers, they've got plenty of time, but they would want to get the next one, especially if that rain does come late. Seems like it may have held off. There was a light sprinkle at the start of his last quarter. Lucas Camporelli inside 50. Ekwe getting the fist on it. Yakovone trying to dance around the danger and play on the call here. Hogg, right foot snap. Another goal for Carlton. Their biggest lead of the day.
You say the Bombers have got plenty of time, Adam, which they do. But it's all going Carlton's way at the moment. They have dialed it up a notch here in the last few minutes. Darcy Hogg, having spurned an opportunity moments ago, has just taken one there. Quick thinking after the holding the ball free kick was paid against Dante Yakovone. The Bombers have to get the next one, you feel. It might be curtains for the red and black.
Second time today that the Blues have kicked 3 consecutive goals.
Back in the middle we go. Lewis Young brilliant over the top. Hayes in and under. Moyer getting there. Back towards Lewis Young. He's wrapped up by Rhys Unwin. Lewis Young wins it down again. Taken by Nelson. He didn't have much room in which to move. Carlton better in the clinches right about now. Young in the ruck, infringed, pushing the back. And it's a Bombers ball for Vigo Vicentini. Who would have watched on, I'm sure, as his brother Dante won last night in Canberra for Port Adelaide against the Giants. Can he propel his side to a win here? Kicking ball towards Sartis, who takes the mark and goes. Will throw it onto the right boot. Inside 50. Numbers with the Blues. With Jerime pushed out. Answers no. O'Farrell away.
And luckily found a teammate as well. On D50, it's Flynn Young going wide. To his namesake in Lewis Young. towards half forward. That's where it came unstuck for the Blues. Bombers get another chance here. Sat underneath and taking the mark there was Unwin. Deciding to just keep it at a slower tempo to Bombers right now. Haley coming off his line. Delivers a long one. May might have been pushed out of it. Umpire says he was. And this is a big moment for the Bombers if they want to stay in it. Not that a lack of a goal here would mean that they're out of it necessarily, but this is a key moment in the game for Archer May. Has had his chances to get on the goal sheet today, is still yet to do so. Back into the VFL now after being picked up in the mid-season draft. Was at Subiaco in the waffle. The former Tiger from the VFL Richmond program finally kicks his goal. And the Bombers are staying with Carlton at Windy Hill.
He's been a Tiger, he's been a Lion with Subiaco, and now a Bomber. Big moment there for Archie May. And as you say, if he'd have missed there, they wouldn't have been out of it, the Bombers, but it feels like a big goal in the context of the game, just to keep them in touch. 11 points, by no means insurmountable, particularly with only 13 minutes gone, fourth and final. And so every clearance, the kick of the ball becomes crucial now. Vicentini won it down in the ruck. Smart in there. Unwin 2 for the Bombers. Smart went without it. Sardis got it back to Vicentini. Ball towards half forward, a high ball. Well read in the end by Ethan Phillips. Has it along half back. Plays on. Looks down the line. Early fly. A couple of grabs at it for Lockie Blackiston, who has a good moment in his first game as a Don. He's called to move it on. Looks for one down the line in the May direction. Spoil in there. And Young, Moyer looks to fan it across. Intercepted then by May, and the Bombers might be away, giving him board. Come on. Is he waiting there up forward? There's plenty of targets in there. They might not be needed. Ramshaw with a strong tackle. It's locked inside forward 50. Bombers pressing. Down by Pitnet. Ben Camprioli involved. Handball works across. Ramshaw. Bumpsy kick by Sartis. Sent away. Blackiston trying to make a play on the ball. Well done by Hogg, who got it across. And now calm back the other way, perhaps through Nelson.
Disposed of it as soon as he got it into a relatively empty 50. But there might still be a chance here for the Blues. It was picked up by Phipps Parsons. He went to an empty square, but it was off target. And out of bounds on the full. And so Will Haw will go to retrieve the footy next to the high post. 11-point ball game. It was 17. That was a game high for Archer May. Kicked his first goal as a Bomber. Halfway through his final term. Two teams stuck on 3 wins each. And they're slipping over in the middle of Windy Hill. Waiting for it out the back was Lewis Young. He goes lateral. Dangerous ball though. Yakovone closed in quickly on O'Farrell. Loose ball picked up by May. Has to kick it. Does kick it. Lewis Young will scoop up once more across half back. This time it's a handball off. Wilson down the line ball. A couple of attempts at the mark not taken there by Blackiston. It's near the boundary line, but a ball up called for. We might just have avoided that rain shower that could have come. It's certainly bucketing down through the midwest of Victoria right now. Tardis was crashing through. This time we will get a boundary throw in.
Wouldn't that just add another element would probably favour Carlton more given where the scoreboard's at. The Bombers will be hoping it stays dry. Back in it goes. Santini and Pitnet renewing hostilities. Carlton will take it out of there. Ball towards forward inside 50. Aquay playing in front, did well. Was run down, and he's gone. A free kick here for the Blues, right on 50. Francis Evans with ball in hand here for Carlton. Former Geelong Cats and member of the Port Adelaide Power. Is he looking to put some power into this kick from beyond 50, or is he trying to set something up? He's shaping up to shoot. Although that has deceived us before from many a forward in this game. From beyond 50. Does look long. Oh, he's got it all the way! Remarkable from Francis Evans. From well beyond the arc with a massive goal for Carlton.
That's 2 long ranges for him today. Remember that one in the first quarter as well. That one hurts the Bombers. $17 points, so they can get it done with 3 goals. But they'll have to kick those 3 goals late in this game. Could easily be 7 or 8 minutes left. We don't know, of course. We've reached the 18-minute mark of this final term on the count-up clock. It's been a good contest here at Windy Hill. A cold day. It's very muddy in the centre wicket area now as well. Pitnet winning the tap down. Jerine looking to rove here, but Hayes making life hard for him. Ball came out to Smart. Wants to switch over. Lucas Camporelli trying to double back. O'Neill was there for Essendon. Ball fell out the back, and eventually it's going to be sent forward by Vickery to the one-on-one. Tough work here for Blackiston. High contact. Essendon want to take the advantage. They've got to make something happen. O'Neill, high, inside 50. McMahon was there. Tried to shrug off a couple of opponents that were once teammates there. Young over the top of it right now for Carlton. Is he being pushed out of it by Menzie? Wilson picked up the loose ball, went wide by hand. Carlton need to be careful here. Wilson's kick, is that turned over? Almost a mark was taken there. On the follow-up, Smart did well. That might have forced a turnover. Inside 50. It's a chaos ball right now. It's sent toward the square, 2-on-2. O'Farrell gets a fist on it. And so far, in this forward entry, the Carlton backline has withstood the pressure.
Moving towards time on. The goal imperative here for the Bombers, you'd think. Back in it goes. Jerine into the ruck. Ball towards the pocket. Haitley trying to track it down for Essendon. It's out of play. Boundary throw in to come.
So they need 3 goals. I feel like that first goal needs to come from this entry. That's just the feel I've got right now.
Can they find one here, the Bombers? Pitnet won it down. Good strong tackle from Billy Wilson. He's trying to get it out of there, O'Neill. Ball towards May at the top of the square. Boyd was playing in front. Or Young it was to Boyd, rather. Lewis Young and Boyd been involved all day. And again there, but this ball might be coming back. Plenty to aim for inside forward 50. Big fly over the top. No, Mark Smart. We've seen him do that a couple of times before as the Blues send it away.
Monahan, unkind bounce in the end. Blackiston gets it back for Essendon. That kick into the space, it worked out not too bad in the end. Right foot around the corner, bouncing out of play. They've got it where they want it. But the Bombers have to get a goal here. We are into time on. They need 3 goals unanswered to win this game. Anything less won't be good enough now. Pitnet front position. Loose ball picked up by Taha. That's not going to be a goal. It lands at the top of the square. How's that from, who was that?
Yakovone.
High, Yakovone. And then the Carlton play got collected on the way through. The whistle has gone. And the free kick is going to be taken after Lucas Camporelli ended up on the turf. Are they going to play the clock here, Carlton?
Might be too long to do that, but we send down line from Lucas Camporelli. Ball brought to ground, a push, and it's a Carlton free kick. To Mark Pitternet. Fans in the Reynolds stand not happy. You'd expect that, given how passionate those Bombers fans are. Pitternet goes short. Camped underneath it was Lucas Camporelli. Lemmy getting into it first. It's an interesting helicopter-type ball towards half forward. Socked off the deck by Ramshaw. Smothered by his own man in Nelson. Vicentini to Sartus. Looks for one over the shoulder. Blues with numbers around the ball. Ramshaw inside 50. Evans from a long way back. Couldn't reel it in. Can he keep it out in front of him? It's locked in. And that is not a bad result for the Blues. It's at the right end of the ground for them. One more goal for Carlton, and that might be the game. Pitternet down, trying to get it through Ben Camporelli. And the umpire's called into action again. Another tackle for Francis Evans. 17-point lead as the Blues, with just under 23 gone in this fourth and final.
It's got to go perfectly from here for Essendon. At their spiritual home. A little bit of soccer from Camporelli. It was half effective as well, I think. Lemmy then released out. Evans with the handball into the chaos. Ramshaw tried to put it through off the ground. That didn't work. Monaghan's over the top of it as well. Essendon finally getting some numbers around it, which will force the stoppage. But the seconds keep ticking off the clock. Now 23 and a half minutes, and it's at the wrong end of the ground. Ball thrown up. Hard ball to clear. It's bouncing in the square here. Picked up by O'Neill. Got tackled immediately. Wants to rush it through. And now the margin is 3 straight kicks. And that makes it a bit harder for the Bombers to win.
And they'll look long from the kick in towards Smart, who came in with the spoil. Towards the boundary line it goes, and more than happy to see that over Cooper Vickery.
A bit harder, I think a lot harder. Might be a more accurate way to describe their situation now.
Hard for the Bombers to even tie it from here. Near on impossible for them to win it now. Needing 4 scores without reply. Down from Pitternet for Ben Camporelli. Tried to return it back to sender. Taha in there for the Bombers. Pitternet with the handball out of play. Boundary throw in. And more time ebbing off the clock here for the Bombers.
27 touches each for Ben Camporelli and Elijah Sardis. They've both been at the top of the leaderboard all day long on the disposal count, so 27 apiece for them.
Back in it goes. Pitternet in front, but one down by Vicentini. For Sartis, who couldn't quite take it with him. Taha with a low ball. They get it out of here. The Bombers, Menzies tried his hardest. And an interesting volley ball from Boyd. Inside 50 it went for the Blues. The Bombers with plenty of numbers back. Flynn Young is in there for Carlton, the former Werribee Premiership Tiger. Fighting tooth and nail now, Lucas Camporelli. It squirms out the back. Hayes couldn't quite pick it up down low. Sartis could. Dished it across. Quick clearing ball will be run down by Menzies, who marks inside the field of play for the Bombers.
Something happening down the field. There's a wrestle going on between Menzies and Ramshaw, I think it is. Well, not Smart, actually. It's been chippy this game. Bombers get some territory, it goes out. Now the much larger Mark Pitternet comes in to tell Oscar Smart to pull his head in. Pitternet is, well, he's got to go contest the ruck. Eventually he disengages with Smart. Boundary throw in. Luckily the boundary umpire took their time. Ball thrown in, it comes to ground. Ramshaw, the handball for Lucas Camporelli, will be marked by Mackay. Or Mackay, whichever way you want to go. There's a couple of those playing for both of these sides, of course, at the top level. High ball from Hoare. Big jump there from O'Farrell. Showed the hops, but he decided not to go for the mark. So I think we can call it now. This will be win number 4 for the season for Carlton. Still a gaming percentage away from getting into the top 8 after today. But a good win on the road here for the Blues, coming off the bye. Ball will be touched before the umpire perhaps needed to make a decision on the intent of that kick toward the boundary line. So the Bombers are taking on Casey next week. The Blues on Sunday get the Northern Bull Ants, two clubs formerly aligned.
Santini in front. Shooter with a one-handed pickup, it was clever. So too then from Smart for Haitley, who will get the Bombers inside 50. It's a high ball, who reads it best. O'Farrell in front. Read it superbly. He's had a fair game, Harry O'Farrell. Already caught the eye of Michael Voss and co at AFL level. He'd be firmly in their plans for this year and beyond, you'd think, with marks like that. Goes long. Pitternet edged underneath it unfairly by Vicentini. Or so it looked. Evans will take it instead. He goes down the line towards Lemmy. He got a paw up to it. Still down low. The boundary line wins out. Good win this for Carlton. Doesn't matter which team it is, whether it's VFL, VFLW, AFL or AFLW. A win over the Bombers for a Carlton team would be as sweet as ever. And that's the way this is heading. Hayes in there. Vicentini too. Lucas Camprielli trying to get it out, so to Oscar Smart in the long sleeves. And none of them could. We'll have a repeat stoppage.
So there's still going to be a couple of wins away from the top 8, the Blues, after today. Six wins, the current mark to get you into the 8 in the Smithies VFL. Another boundary throw in here. Real logjam in the middle of the table right now. North Melbourne, Footscray, Williamstown, Collingwood, and the Brisbane Lions all sitting on 6 wins in the middle of the ladder. Casey on 5 wins, and they will be Essendon's opponent next week. Late boots a ball there from Haitley toward the middle of Windy Hill. Gallagher's handball made it hard for Paris. Knew he had to dispose of it quickly. Gallagher hand passing back. Mackay turning it over. Ramshaw and Lemmy will take the mark. Had the jump on his opponent. Took the mark just outside 50, and he's only thinking about one thing, and that is a shot.
Presented well again, Harry Lemmy.
Yeah, he's been really impressive today. Going for his 3rd goal, he's giving himself a nice long run up. Crowd is starting to filter out. A lot of these people here, you would presume, Ollie, heading to the G tonight. Lemmy decides to have a crack from long range. Nowhere near the mark.
Good thing from a Carlton point of view, it doesn't have to be right about now. 4 points. Absolutely sewn up. Harry Lemmy, after missing the set shot, still gets himself involved. Sends the ball sprawling into the advertising hoardings off his fist. Siren about to ring around Windy Hill. It's not a siren the majority of fans here are going to like. Pitternet with a handball back. High ball inside 50 in the bins direction. He wasn't needed. Crashing it there was Flynn Young. Trying to get it clear. Owen Davey Jr. Handball across. Basutel's there. He'll throw it onto the right. And there is the siren. A brilliant win on the road for Carlton against one of the very clubs they hate the most. At the spiritual home of the Bombers, Essendon have one driven through the heart. They were with Carlton all day, but couldn't stick with them until the last. It's the Blues by 18 points from Windy Hill.
Yeah, a game that promised a lot in the early stages. Ended up being a real arm wrestle in some tricky conditions in the end. So Evans and Lemmy, 2 goals each. Ben Camporelli, Hogg, Moy.